Welcome to Soul Shift Messages. If you're moving through a transition, awakening, or deep inner change, you're in the right place. Take a deep breath and let these messages meet you where you are. Remember, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. If you're new here, please know I cuss. If that doesn't align with you, that's perfectly fine. Please feel free to leave and find another channeler who is more in alignment with you. My channel is about honesty, authenticity, and just being real. And part of me doing that is being who I am, and that means I'm going to cuss. So you have been forewarned. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these messages. I did take notes before starting this video, so let me just quickly go through some of this. So this message is going to be for people who feel stuck, overwhelmed, or really feeling like they're in a spiritual pause and really don't understand why. And to put it simply, there's a lot of energetic shifts going on at this time. There really is. If you're not aware, this is in the Chinese zodiac, this is the year of the snake, which, what do snakes do? Snakes shed their skin. When they're ready to move into a bigger version of themselves, a different version of themselves, they have to shed their skin in order to do so. And it's 2025. It is December 14th, 2025 when I'm recording this. But 2025, if you're into numerology, adds up to a 9-year, and nines in numerology really do align to completion. So there really is an overarching theme at this time that many people are feeling about endings. There are things, that just don't resonate with us anymore and actually cannot move forward with us into the next version of ourselves that we're moving into. And some of these endings may be welcome, some of them may not. Some of them may be feeling confusing. Why isn't this working? I keep trying to do these things and it's just, what worked before doesn't work now. And it can be really frustrating and even potentially a little disorienting. And so if you're feeling that way, just know that it's okay. Your feelings are valid. And, these endings are happening in some cases, whether we like it or not. So please try to be grateful for what is going on in your life. If there are things that are leaving, try to let them go with as much grace as you can. And really just trust the fact that, you're making room for things that people, places, and things that are more in alignment with you at this time. The other thing, which I touched upon a little bit, is there's a lot of identity rewiring going on at this time. So some of you may be looking in the mirror and seeing your reflection and knowing it's you, but there's a part of you that also doesn't recognize entirely who is staring back at you. Some of you may feel like your old identity doesn't align with you anymore, but you don't quite know who you're stepping into yet. And being in that void space and really feeling like you're in that in-between spot can be uncomfortable. And so my advice to you is, if you're really having a hard time with that, to really look at yourself in the mirror, and whether you feel it or not, to just tell yourself that you love you. Just say, I love you. You can say it 3 times, you can say it 10 times, whatever works for you, but just know that, set the tone that no matter as you keep learning who you are and who you are becoming, set the precedence, set the intention that you love yourself and that you are going to try to be the best friend that you can be while you better understand who you are becoming. And part of this identity rewiring could be that your nervous system is also rewiring. So some of you may be crying, maybe it's those weepy tears, or maybe it is that full-blown sob, I gotta blow my nose, type of chest heaving crying. And there's no shame. I'm on this journey with you, and I assure you, I've done a lot of that sobbing crying. And, that's a sign that your nervous system is rewiring. Some of you may feel hot at times or very warm, and sometimes you may feel cold. Some of you may be feeling tremors. Those are also signs that your nervous system is rewiring and trying to release what no longer serves it, what's not aligned with you anymore. And so you may want to take some time to actually Google, symptoms of your nervous system rewiring, just so that you can be aware when these things are happening and how to support yourself. For example, if you're cold, try to warm up your body. Put warm clothes on, drink a warm beverage, get cozied up in a blanket and things of that sort. Really try to be kind to your body and pay attention to what your body needs, because even though this shift is happening at a soul level, your body still holds you. You need to take care of your vessel. To put it this way, your body remembers every heartbreak you've ever had in this life. And for some of you, it might be past life things as well. It remembers every trauma, every fear. Your body stores all of it. And so supporting your body at this time is really important. If you are being called to rest, take time to rest. Again, when I'm recording this, it's the holiday season, and I know that can sometimes be hard. But if you really feel called to rest, please try to do your best to make sure that you do that and really take that time for yourself. Some of you may need to take a multivitamin. Maybe there are some supplements that you feel called to add to your regimen at this time. If you're going through heavy nervous system rewiring, amino acids may be a great thing for you to start incorporating in. Again, you can Google amino acids and nervous system rewiring and see what you get, see what speaks to you. There may be other supplements that your body is asking for at this time. For some of you, if you're having a harder time sleeping, you may want to look into magnesium. Some of us are integrating shadow aspects of ourselves, and magnesium can really be a great help with that. And so, again, really try to follow where you're being guided. Some of you may be called to eat certain foods and you may not know why. That's okay. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, and follow where you feel called. I'll give you an example. I was in the grocery store and out of nowhere decided I needed a dark chocolate orange ball. I forget the name of the company. Terry's? Maybe it's Terry's, but it's the one where you smash it on the table and it falls into pieces. Kind of looks like a blooming onion. But I had no idea what I wanted it, but it occurred to me to look for it. I found it easily. And when I talked to my guides about it later, they actually said the dark chocolate was really good at grounding me. Because again, this can be an intense and kind of messy process. So the dark chocolate was helping me ground, and then the orange aspect of it was actually helping me rebalance some lower energy centers. And so, again, even if it seems random, and obviously keep things in moderation, I ate that one over a span of many days. But again, if you're getting those nudges, honor them. They're coming through for a reason. Some of you may actually be having a hard time eating right now. And I'm going to be honest. I've been there too. And my, what's coming through is these meals don't have to be glamorous. They don't even have to be 3 meals a day, right? Eat an apple. Depending on where you live, it's cold where I am. I'm not inclined to do it. There's snow outside, but for some of you, maybe you can drink a smoothie, some type of meal replacement shake. If you're really having a hard time eating solid food, even drinking broth, if you want to add some herbs to that, like go ahead and do that. Cereal, the main thing that's coming through is to not neglect your body. Your body is doing heavy lifting. So try to, as to the best of your ability, right? Because some days are good and some days may not be as good, but try to give your body a steady routine at this time. Try to go to bed at the same time. Try to wake up around the same time. Try to keep a consistent schedule of how you move through things. Try to eat your meals, again, whatever your meals look like, at consistent times. If you are taking those vitamins, those supplements, those tinctures, whatever is speaking to you at this time, try to take them consistently. Your body wants predictability to help it stabilize through this process. So really try to give your body what it needs, because you may find that really helps you in the long run. And some of you may actually be experiencing your spiritual gifts activating. Some of you may be called to do things before you even feel ready. I think this video is a great example. I have known I was supposed to start this channel for months and didn't feel like it was the right time at any point. And, a couple of days ago, my team said, "You're waiting for the perfect time to start, and it's actually right now. Like, it is time to act." And so even though my channel has no logo, no banner, is very bare bones, part of me is excited to be here and part of me is really nervous. And I'm still here, right? And I'm doing it imperfectly. So, if you're really feeling called to do something, or even just start it, this time is not about perfection. And I don't feel like your team is asking you to be perfect. In a lot of ways, they're asking you to show up to the best of your abilities with what you've got, and to really, really try to meet them halfway, because your team is doing a lot. Some of you may be finding out for the first time that you actually have spiritual gifts, and that's really, throwing you through a loop. And my advice to you is to ground down as best as you can, and really, do those breathing exercises. If you feel called to do any type of cleansing, whether that's a smoke cleanse, you might be called to drink certain teas. You may be called to shower more. We're doing a lot of releasing in our sleep. You may find you need to wash your sheets more often, just to clear some of that old energy out. Some of you may be called to work with herbs. Some of you may be putting herbs in your bath. Some of you may be taking more salt baths. hydrating and all those kinds of things. And some of you, your gifts are, you already knew you had gifts and they're strengthening. And again, baby, ground, ground, because as someone who's been through that, it can be a lot. So, be patient with yourself. Know that your team, whether you feel like you can hear them clearly, you can see them clearly, you know, your team is working very hard and very diligently with you at this time. So even though you may feel confused and you may not be able to sense them the way that you did before, please know your team loves you. They have not left you. They absolutely have not left you. They are closer to you than you probably could ever imagine as you are going through this time. And they are proud of you, even if you are not willing to say you're proud of you at this time. I'll be the one to do it. I'm proud of you. Your team just wants you to, again, get up, do the best you can, take care of yourself to the extent that you can, and really be loving to yourself at this time. There's a lot of internal pressure going on. You may physically feel this. You may feel it more emotionally as those feelings are coming up to be expressed, and your team is asking you to really just, it's tempting when those strong emotions come up to try to swallow them or push them back down. And your team is asking you to not do that because these things are coming up to be released, to be purged. And so they're asking you to be brave and really feel what is coming up, whether you understand it or not. We don't need to put narratives on what we're feeling right now. It's really about acknowledging what is coming up and leaving space for it to come out. And so, others may be feeling it mentally. You may be feeling like you're having mental loops. You're mentally overwhelmed. You just have a lot of chatter going on, a lot of racing thoughts. And again, your team is just asking you to recognize that these are thoughts that are coming up to be released. You don't have to try to understand them and things of that sort. I know it can be a lot when that's coming up, but your team just wants you to recognize these are thoughts, they're coming out, and you can set the intention that I recognize these are thoughts coming up to be purged, and I give them permission to be released. Same thing with your emotions. A lot of this, really ties into the discomfort of transformation at this time. And it really can be uncomfortable. And I can tell you, I have not always been comfortable with this myself. And so, really, just stay focused on doing the best that you can during this time, and some of you may find that it may be the holiday season at this time, but you may be called to just honor your no, and step out of things that you used to do. Some of you may have already been called to ask for help and have been pleasantly or unpleasantly surprised at who actually responds and how they respond, if they respond at all. And some of you have done that, and you may find yourself heartbroken because the people you went above and beyond for are not actually showing up for you. And that can be that can be painful. But your team wants you to understand that's all information for you, information to understand where you've been investing your time, your energy, maybe even your money. And asking yourself, is it still a worthy investment moving forward? Some of you, you may have done this with family. It may have been with friends. For some of you, it's with partners, and I'm just hearing there's a song by, I think it's the Wreckers, called Leave the Pieces, and there's a line in it that says, why are you still standing here just watching me drown? Maybe some of you haven't asked for help yet, but you're noticing that, the people around you know that you're struggling and they're not coming in to help you. And again, that may be very heartbreaking, but again, it's not the time to be taking these things personally. It's really to gather the information and reflect on, what is this teaching you? How do you want to move going forward? Some of you may have already pulled back your energy from other people. Some of you may be looking at people like, you know what? I have already overgiven to you. I've people pleased. I have bent over backwards for you, and you just don't show up for me. So, if you're doing a lot of that deep reflecting and you're really looking at some of these things that are going on around you at this time, that's really where we're supposed to be. 2026 is going to be the year of the horse. Think about horses and what they represent, right? Movement, endurance, in some cases speed, but horses tend to have many different speeds, so, and it's also a 1 year, it's for beginning. So some of you may be called to really think about, who are the people you have around you? To what extent do you invest in them? And is that still something you really want to take with you into the new year? So again, really be gentle with yourself at this time, because there's a lot of energy going on right now. We just had the 12/12 portal. We're, again, it's December 14th, so we're moving into the winter solstice on 12/21. That's another portal. And so, again, it's really just take care of your body. Try as best as you can to flow with what's happening. Some of you may really just need to ask yourselves, what is the bare minimum I need to do to get through this day? And just remember, not everything needs to be decided right now. Your guides are really emphasizing grounding. So what I'm going to do is, I have a 10-minute grounding meditation that I really love. I will put it I'll post it on my channel. And, I use that morning when I first get up and before I go to bed. But you can use it at any time if you feel like you're becoming ungrounded. By all means, feel free to use that whenever you'd like. But to really try to stay grounded, try to stay in the present moment as much as possible, and understand that some of these heavy things that are coming up to be released. They don't necessarily need to be analyzed. Your team's not asking you to understand them. They are showing me what I do when I get overwhelmed, so you can obviously, what's coming up, allow it to come through and things of that sort. And when you feel like you are coming to the end of it, whether it's an overactive thought or, a strong emotional release, you can put one hand on your heart, one hand on your stomach, and I take deep breaths, and I make sure I exhale longer than I inhale. And that really helps. It's a very quick way for me to bring myself back into my body, to really help myself be where I'm at in that moment. So again, grounding, breath work, stretching. Some of you may feel called to dance right now. Movement is important. You know, again, where I am, it snowed today. Not a lot, but it did. So, you know, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going out there to put bare feet on the ground. I came into this world with 10 toes, and I'm going to leave with them too. You know, so some of you may, you know, if you're feeling really sore or really tired, maybe do some gentle stretching. Some of you may do yoga. Some of you may like Pilates. If you haven't tried Pilates, it's actually a great combination of stretching and, well, the Windsor Pilates 20-minute video. You can find it online for free. It's on some like BBC website. If I can find that, I'll post that as well. But that one does not have like all the crazy machines with the ropes and all the tension and stuff. That one really just uses your body weight. So that one's really gentle if you're interested in that. But some of y'all got fairy DNA and you're being called to dance. And I'm hearing do it lame, right? If you're like, I don't feel as limber or I don't feel as tired. Nobody's asking you to get out here and twerk. Although if you want to be out here twerking, that's totally fine too. Do you? But you know, for some of you just, no one says it's got to be fast music. Put on them slow jams. And just do the slow wind. You know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, that's okay. I'm hearing Burning Blue by Mariah the Scientist. I love that one. That one's good when my hips are tight because it's just a nice slow wind and just let yourself melt into the music and just move. But movement's going to be really important too. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you are drinking coffee or tea in the morning and you are experiencing like a floating sensation, like you know your body's down here, but like you feel up here in the upper chakras, don't come for me. I'm the messenger. But you may need to examine if caffeine is helping you at this time or not. I had to cut out caffeine at this time as well. For some of you, caffeine may be actually forcing your nervous system to artificially support things that it's trying to get rid of. And so, you know, I love my caffeinated tea. I was actually really bummed when I first got that message. And I'm not going to lie, when I had to get decaf tea, much to my surprise, I actually found I really liked the taste of it. So some of you may also find yourself pleasantly surprised if you need to switch to decaf. Also, if you're getting cold at night, or even if you just live in a place that's chillier and you want a warm beverage and say you don't want to go the caffeine route and you know, you may feel like it's too late for cocoa. I am hearing warm water because holding something warm in your hands may also help you with some of the other things you're going through. But at the same time, you know, because water helps you flow and staying hydrated is good. The warm water helps things keep flowing and flushing out. If that's too boring for you, touche. I hear you. You can add honey. Honey would be good for you to add to your water if you can feel like movement in your chest. That may be a sign your heart chakra is opening, and some of us are absolutely opening our heart chakras at this time. And lemon, I'm hearing lemon too. Lemon can help clear things out. The only caveat I'll add is please do be careful with how much lemon you're putting in there. You don't want to overwhelm your system, right? Your system and your guides, you know, and are really working with you closely. So, you know, if you're going to add a lemon, by all means, feel free to do so. Just add a little bit. Start small. That way you don't accidentally overwhelm your system and force it to flush a bunch of stuff all at once. Let me see if anything else is coming through for people at this time. That really feels like it's it for now. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. And so I just want to remind you, you're not behind or lost. You're not. A lot of us are actually right where we're supposed to be. And even though this process may feel very messy to us, your guides are really telling you you're actually handling it beautifully. We are being pushed. We are doing a lot at this time. And so your team just wants you to be so kind, and the way you may be viewing yourself right now is not the way they see you. They're not disappointed. You're not failing. None of that. So if you've been having those types of thoughts come in, I would encourage you to change your inner narrative, right? I am doing my best, and that is enough. I am proud of the progress I have made so far. I look forward to getting to know the person I am becoming. Things of that sort. You really want to try to be your own best friend at this time. So, you're shifting, you're realigning. This is not small work. So really, again, I'm so proud of you for waking up every day, not entirely sure how it's going to go, and really just hoping for the best. You're being so brave. You are doing great. And I think there's a lot to be admired for that. So again, please be kind and patient with yourself as you're moving through this process. Don't mind the sun absolutely beaming down on me right now. So we're just going to keep rolling with it. I don't even know how to edit this, so we're going to own it. This is working out exactly how it's supposed to. So with that, I'm going to bring it to a close. Thank you for tuning in. If this resonates, by all means, stay tuned. I'll be sharing more channelings and insights soon. And until then, please take care of yourself and be well.